Let me tell you something. This is the deepest, yeah? I want you to open your heart. On one hand, we have to share everything, give everything away. Okay, I got married yesterday. This morning I asked my wife, where's the wedding band? She says, you know, last night those rabbis spoke about giving everything away. So the first poor man I saw gave him my wedding band. How does it sound to you? Why not? Because the wedding band was a gift from me to her. She has no right to give it away. The Holy Land is the deepest gift God gave us. He gave it to us, for our children and grandchildren. We were driven out, we came back. For my part, as I said 100 times, the whole world is invited to be there. The whole world is invited to be there and live peacefully and happily. Nobody stops anybody. But if someone wants to come there and, you see, they don't want a little piece. They want to drive us out from the land. They're saying it openly. If they would say, just give us a little piece and we'll be happy, we would have given it to them a long time ago. I want you to know something. This whole thing about Palestinian refugees is the biggest fake in the world. Do you know Israel wanted to build apartment houses for them, condominiums, billions. We were ready to give them beautiful houses. They don't want to. They want to live in dirt in order to put it on us. Facts of life. You know what's going on in Israel? I'm just coming there 3 weeks ago. You know, some of us know Yeshua's 11 children. You know how much Tillim the mother has to pray every day that her children should come back home? Do we deserve that? Do we deserve to live in a land when terrorists walk around with knives? And you know what it is? The world can stop it in 2 seconds, but they don't want to. You know why the world doesn't want to stop it? I'll tell you why. First of all, the world doesn't really care, right? But I'll tell you something else. We Jewish people are living proof that there is one God. That the words of the prophets are for real. So now, if we have to give away half of the land, that means it was just a fake. It really wasn't a gift from God. Golda Meir and who knows, a few generals got together and Begin was a terrorist. They got the land and now they have to give it back. It had nothing to do with God. I have to tell you something awesome, friends. And I shared it with a lot of people. During the 6-Day War, one of my friends who was a very high officer in a tank, you know, all the tanks are rushing down to the Suez. And suddenly, he's rushing through an Arab village, and suddenly something went wrong with the machine. The tank stops. He has choice to go out and fix it, but then he knows he'll be killed because in the middle of the marketplace, Arabs, he's all alone. Or he can sit in the tank and just die from the heat. So he took a chance, he goes out. A young Arab walks up to him, he says, I'm an engineer, can I help you fix it? Not to be believed. So he says to him, aren't you supposed to be my enemy? So he says to him, I'll tell you, if it would be a war between Jews and Arabs, I'm an Arab. This war is against God. I don't want to be against God. This war is against God. Against God. For 2,000 years we were waiting. It was never their land. They were living there, it was not their land. They never had a government. Anybody who knows history knows they were living there, right? I live in New York, so therefore, I'll tell you something. How would it sound to you if everybody would see America give it back to the Indians? You'd laugh, right? And the Indians really have a right. They were living here. It was their government. Nobody would have the chutzpah to tell Brother Clinton, you're so eager, Israel should give back a little land. Give at least a few of the states back to the Indians. Why do they have to sit in a reservation and live there like dogs? Why did they give them back Wall Street? Why not? So he will say, because a few years ago we bought it from the Indian and didn't know how much it's worth, right? The world is crazy. You see what it is, what it boils down? They really want to show us that we Jews have no right to have a homeland. Basically, it's still the last chapter of Auschwitz. I told all my friends, you know, the Germans, at the time of the Nazis, when I was a little boy, on every Jewish house was signs, Juden nach Palästina. Jews go to Palestine. That means the Nazis admitted that Israel belongs to us. And now there's a new thing, even Israel doesn't belong to us. And I'll tell you one more thing. If you believe that war can take away a country, then we had a war, we took it away now. It's ours. If you believe that war cannot take away, then it still belongs to us from the Holy Temple. I mean, make up your mind. If war can change the ownership of the land, then it belongs to us today. If it can, it belongs to us from the Holy Temple. It's crazy, right? You see, it's not only, you see, it is not, the question is not to give them a piece of land. Anybody who's in Israel knows they don't want a little piece of Israel. They still yell death to the Jews. Death to the Jews. And you know what's so crazy? We are persecuting them. They are persecuting us. I'll tell you something else. Do you know how much patience the Israeli soldiers have? They are standing there for years and they throw stones at them. They're not shooting back. You know, I know America is the best country in the world. You take 1,000 soldiers standing by the White House and hoodlums come and throw stones at them. What's going to be with them? They won't be there tomorrow. They will not be there tomorrow. You see what it is? I don't want to mention their name in the synagogue. He made it very clear. He says, we, the PLO, are making a deal with the Jews. In the meantime, our brothers, the Hamas, will keep on killing. And he left the choice to his own Chaver PLO. If you want to belong to PLO, you can work on both sides. You can be a policeman for PLO, but you can also kill Jews. They asked the police, which are supposed to, from the PLO, what are you doing when you see somebody who wants to kill a Jew? Will you stop them? They said, no. I don't know if you saw it on television. They interviewed some Arab kids. They asked them, if you see someone wants to kill a Jew, what are you going to do? They say, we can't say anything because if we would stop them, we will be killed as informers. And I have to tell you, Paul, one more thing, which I'm sure you're aware of. They're not terrorizing only us Jews. They're terrorizing each other. I want to tell you one thing. It is even too cruel to tell you, but just to give you a taste. I had the privilege of being together with the Israeli army during the war in Lebanon. And if you know the way the PLO, the Muslims were treating the Christians in Lebanon, is not to be described. So when we were there, I was sitting there playing for soldiers, and in between singing and walking around in the city, and the Arabs come out. I never got so many gifts on one day. Every little Arab came out and brought me gifts, because we are so glad you're here. But listen to this. one Arab family invited me for coffee to their house. Then he says to me, let me tell you, our mother was 80 years old, and the PLO felt that she is helping the Jews. One night, 4 cars came. They tied my mother between the 4 cars and drove away. So these are the people who should make peace with?